mamá.
What's left? The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And we'll go through the wastelands, through the valleys, to my shadow, to the sun rays. And we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways. and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Number fueled by the sea horizon, turn us roses, and we'll grow in number. Fueled by the sea horizon, turn us to thousands. We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow through the sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. While you and me repeat, this bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crayons and secrets and borders, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat, this bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for joining on time. We will start with the roll call. Yelena?
Yes, so thank you. I hope you're all ready and fresh for this weekend that's coming up. I will start with the roll call right now, and remember only one official delegate per association to type it in the chat, okay? I'll start with ASEPA Algeria, IFA Argentina, NAPS Australia, AFIP Austria, ISFA Benin, ISFA Benin. If there is no representative from Benin, SAFBUM Bosnia and Herzegovina, CFORM BF Burkina Faso, CAPSI Canada, CPUOB Democratic Republic of Congo, FECOF Costa Rica, CPSA Croatia, CZPSA Czech Republic, CZPSA Czech Republic. If there are no representatives from Czech Republic, SOP Denmark, SOP Denmark. If there are no representatives from Denmark, IPSF Egypt, TUPS Estonia, TUPS Estonia. If there are no representatives from TUPS Estonia, FIPSA Finland, ANEP France, BPHD Germany, GPSA Ghana, GPSA Ghana, thank you, HUPSA Hungary, HUPSA Hungary. If there are no representatives from HUPSA Hungary, MAPS India, ISMA Farsi Indonesia, IPSA Iran, IPST Iraq, APS Japan, JPSA Jordan, JPSA Jordan. If there are no representatives here from JPSA Jordan, CAPSA Kenya, KNEPS Republic of Korea, LPSA Lebanon, MyPSA Malaysia, AAP Mali, FEFAMEX Mexico, BAP CBEP Morocco, KNPSV the Netherlands, NZAPSO New Zealand, PANS Nigeria, PANS Nigeria. If there are no representatives from Nigeria, PPHSF Pakistan. Okay, PANS. PPHSF Pakistan. Okay, thank you, sorry. APFIP Peru. PPSA Poland. APIF Portugal. QFIS Qatar. FAS for Romania. RPSA Rwanda. NAPSA Serbia. NAPSA Sierra Leone. NUSPS Singapore. SPSA Slovakia. 66th Slovenia. 66th Slovenia. If there are no representatives from Slovenia present. 5th Spain. SNAP Sweden. SNAP Sweden. If there are no representatives from Sweden present. ASIP Switzerland. TAPSA United Republic of Tanzania. TAPSA Tanzania. If there are no representatives from TAPSA here. PCAT Thailand. IFAT Togo. IFAT Togo. If there are no representatives from Togo. ATIP Tunisia. ATIP Tunisia. TPAYC Turkey. UPSA Uganda. BPSA United Kingdom. APHA ASP United States. And ZPSA Zimbabwe. ZPSA Zimbabwe. If there are no amazing. So we have 54 members present and voting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Yelena. Please update the number of voters on the system as well. Hello, everyone, one more time. We will proceed with the rest of our agenda. I hope that you had enough rest in the previous week and ready for the rest of the agenda items that we have. I will start directly by asking for a proposer to resume the standing order proposed by, you don't have your name written. I'll wait for someone else. Please make sure that you name yourself as per instructions that was shared with you in the beginning. So we have proposed by QFS Qatar, seconded by FC Iran. We will now vote on it. Everyone, please make sure that you rename yourself as we told you so we can be able to identify you when you're typing or speaking. Okay, so all those against resuming the standing order? RPSA Rwanda, we already have a seconder and a proposer and seconder. We're now voting. Please do not type anything else. All those against resuming the standing orders? Motion carried unanimously. We will now proceed with the agenda items that we have. Yelena, I would like to ask you kindly to give us the next item. All right, so now we have the elections for the chairperson of internal relations. We received 3 applications from Ms. Nirmal Malik, Weng Sidon, and Joanna Perez. Can I have a confirmation if the 3 candidates are in the room before we proceed to? Okay, we have Joanna, we have Nirmal, and Weng. Okay. We've got some concerns in the previous session that some of you don't like to have the videos played, but on the same time, we received another concerns about some people would like to see the videos of the representatives. So I will have to ask again. So is the General Assembly comfortable with us playing the videos? Because apparently this actually makes it much easier for people to understand what's going on and to remember what the candidates are. But I would like to assess the floor one more time. And I have a point from PPSA UK. Please take the floor.
Sebastian, BBC UK. As I said last week, like we all have access to these videos weeks before the General Assembly, and we should be watching these before the session to be prepared. Thank you.
All right, thank you, BBSA UK. And I see majority of people agreeing. At least I feel it's majority. And I have a point of information from SecGen. Please take the floor.
Yelena, IPSF Secretary General, I also submitted a point, but it didn't work. Please mute yourself. What I also wanted to state, as we discussed this also within the executive committee, is that we also have a live stream and people don't really see anything from the applicants on the live stream. They don't have access to the nominations, and we feel like they should at least have access or see the video, because they usually on an on-site meeting, they also see the speech. So that's just a point of information to also maybe consider the people on the live stream as well.
And I have another point of information from Ms. Hira. Please take the floor.
Hira, Chairperson of Public Health. Another point of information is that if we were to eliminate the video, it's essentially the same as eliminating the speech that you would at GA. And that's not something that we would do. So please just look at it as the equivalent. Thank you.
Thank you, Hira. I have a direct from KMP Sweden, Netherlands. Please take the floor.
Thank you, Bram KMP Sweden, Netherlands. Another option, if the candidates are comfortable with it, would also be to share the links to their videos in the description of the live stream. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we have different options on the table, and I'm not sure how we can decide on this. So based on the point of information that has been shared by the executive committee, is the General Assembly still not feeling comfortable with presenting the videos and would like to proceed without the videos, or it's fine? Another option, if the candidates are fine with it, we can share the links to the videos on the live stream as well. So can I ask the candidates if they're okay if their videos are shared? Okay, so Yelena, if possible, that you share links to the videos through the live stream if possible. Thank you so much. I think we can proceed. I will directly proceed to open the floor for discussion. Please submit your points through the Google form so you can be able to speak. Otherwise, we won't be able to track the chat. So, and make sure that your question is addressed to the 3 candidates and not to a specific candidate. This is just a kind reminder. Do we have any points? I see some new points, but I don't see it on the screen. So can someone from the secretary please help with that? I see 8 new points. Gata and Yelena, can someone confirm to me, please? Okay, guys, so until we fix the technical, because I have access to the General Assembly and I can see the list there, but I'm not sure why it's not appearing on the screen. I will just say the list as I received it. I have the first point from KMPSV, the Netherlands. Please take the floor.
Hi, Henrik, KMP's in the Netherlands. Thank you for your applications. I had one question. What are the plans of the candidates to do about inactive member organizations or member organizations who are becoming more and more inactive? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will start with the order as we see it on the screen. I will start with Nirmal.
Nirmal Malik from PPHSF Pakistan. Thank you very much. So I would say that first of all, it's very important to create a very friendly environment in order to make sure the CPs are active. So when we will be having the coaching the CPs session and when we will be having the global CPs meetings, I will make sure that everyone is comfortable and I will be available throughout the mandate to make sure if anyone needs me or if anyone has any problems with the features or anything. So that's how I will make sure that everyone is able to be active and there are no issues being faced by them. And if there are any, I will be present there to resolve them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm just also reminding you of the 1 minute limit, and someone from EXCO, please help with that. Next, we have Wang. Please take the floor. Wang?
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, so I'm Sidun, NUSPS Singapore, and so one of my main so for for inactive member organization is actually also my main concern while being the chairperson of internal relations if elected. And so for this plan, I will actually personally approach all the inactive member organizations and also work with all the ROs as well as the regional chairpersons to contact them and to also help them in all different ways to help them become active. And besides, and because my plan also has this coaching the new member organizations, and if any of these organizations are actually inactive, I'm actually also want them to actually go through the training again, as well as coaching the CP sessions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Joanna, please take the floor.
Thank you, Joanna candidate. Henrik, thank you so much for your question. I believe, as the same approach I had with Euro, I believe firstly, we need to identify together with the regional chairpersons and the RROs, which are the member organizations who have been showing a decrease in their participation in the last few years, especially those at risk of losing their IPSF membership. So, for example, members who haven't paid their fee for the last year. And so for these members, we need to firstly identify what are the reasons for the lack of interest. Is it either financial reasons? And this way we can understand how we can better help them and track them in these matters. Or is it lack of handover and information about their member organization being a part of an international structure? Or it can even be a lack of interest, a lack of information. And in this, I think we need to tackle capacity building of members and not only CPs, but actually the member organizations. And in this way, we'll be able to have a more direct and personalized strategy to each of the member organization. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joanna. I think AFOP Austria dropped the point. So AFOP, can you confirm?
Point is dropped.
Okay. So next we have ASEPA Algeria, and before I give the floor to ASEPA, I would like to remind the candidates that you're a candidate. So if you would like to say your name and to follow it with something, you can say your name and then candidate, not your association. I hope it's clear. So ASEPA Algeria, you can take the floor.
Thank you very much. So Abir Bidaida, ASEPA Algeria. I would like to ask you guys about the event manager position. I'm wondering, how do you envision developing their job tasks and job description in general, and what plans do you have for them? Thank you very much. And what plans?
Okay, now we have Wang. Please take the floor.
Sorry, may I clarify the question?
ASEPA Algeria, can you please repeat your question?
Yes. So my question is about the event manager position. I'm wondering how do you envision on developing their job description and what plans do you have for them? Thank you.
Student candidate for Chairperson of Internal Relations. So regarding the plans for the event manager, yeah, previously the event manager was currently Eric, and his plan is currently his plan that he has actually proposed was probably for now I will envision for the next mandate to continue with the upcoming plans and see if it actually works for the next mandate.
Have you finished your point? Okay, then we go next to Joanna, right?
Thank you, Elena. Joanna candidate. Abir, thank you so much for your question. I would say for the past 2 years that the position has been in place, we have not been able to take it to its fullest potential. So my idea for next year would be to have a person really informed and knowledgeable about not only the World Congress, but IPSF events in general. For my idea would be for them to be the perfect connection between RCs and the Exco. So, and even with RCs, a good sharing of good practices, because each regional symposium has its own specifics, its own differences, and I believe sharing good practices and what has been done in each event can be good for the growth and development of each event. I would personally like to see this person involved in releasing feedback forms for the event, which is also considered in the official documents and it hasn't been done still. And I would like to see this person, if possible, involved with the preparations for the IPSF students and young graduates package for the FIP World Congress, being that I've been close with the preparations for FEF Spain as well. So I believe I would be able to guide them, and with the WHSS as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Now we have Nirmal next.
Nirmal, so thank you for your question. First of all, I would like to mention that we know this position was established back in 2018 and we could not progress this position very much because of last year's COVID-19 position. However, we have 2 documents for the event manager position. One is the success parameters, which was created for the World Congress last year, and the other is the trackers tool sheet. So if I will make sure that I liaise with the regional chairperson, the symposium chairperson and the World Congress chairperson, as well as liaise with the event manager, so that I can follow up. So there are certain features in these sheets. For example, we can get, when is the registration taking place, when are the deadline, how we are going to follow up with the, how we are going to follow up with the PCT, then the PST, symposiums and workshops. So I will liaise with both the positions and make sure everything is being followed. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmal. Now we have next Kufus Qatar, and please mute yourself. Whoever is not muted, please mute yourself.
Ruth Khalid, Kufus Qatar. Best of luck to all candidates. I just have a question regarding your plan to encourage more association to the IPSF. Thank you.
Okay, so I think we should start with Joanna now, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you, Yelena. Joanna candidate, thank you so much for your question. I believe, as I said in my application, I would like to really develop an active research for non-member organizations in each regional office. So for this, I would need to work really closely with the RROs, as I did this year. So identifying which are these non-member organizations and really establish a close bond with them. And besides that, we need to also identify which are the countries in which there isn't a member organization yet, or a students association in this case, and how can we improve their interest and their information about how they can be prepared to have a member organization still. And as I said in my application, working together with the FIP academic institutional members, with providing us with direct contacts and information about these countries and even the faculties of pharmacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Now we have Nirmal.
Nirmal, as a candidate, thank you, Kufas Qatar, for your question. So first of all, I would say that the main goal I will have while searching for a new member organization would be to add new countries to IPSF in order to broaden the network of IPSF, and so that we have more countries and more people to interact with. And secondly, along with adding to the point of Joanna, that is we have FIP academic institutes from where we can research more member organizations. I also think that obviously there are not all countries which are registered with FIP, and we should be researching more member organizations. And I will liaise with the regional relations officers in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmal. Now we have Sidon.
Sidon candidate. So about this plan on how to get more new members. So one of my plan will be to actually continue working with all the regional officers, all the regional chairperson, all the regional relations officer to go and search for potential member organizations, either actually contact them through online, through various means, and also to liaise with maybe FIP as well. And so we can actually contact them. And yeah, so we can manage to contact them as much as possible. Yeah, that's all my, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now we have EPSF Egypt next.
Ms. Minab Ghari, contact person of EPSF Egypt. Thank you all for your applications. My question was for the CP forum. We all know that it was it's supposed to be finalized by the end of this mandate. So I wanted to ask, since it's gonna be something new, how do you plan on assisting and adapting the new CPs for it, and how to decrease the spam? Thank you.
Thank you, Egypt. Now we start with Nirmal again.
Nirmal, as a candidate, thank you, EPSF Egypt, for your question. So in my annual plan, it is already mentioned that I will be conducting a guide to CP's forum for this purpose, so that not only the contact person, but also all the committee members are able to understand how we are going to utilize the features of the CP forum. And also in the current contact person group, which is a group in Facebook, I plan that we should be posting each and every feature one by one in the Facebook group, so that the CPs keep on revising how to use each and every feature. And also personally, I will be available all the time to make sure if anyone is having any problem. So I will be available to address that problem. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nirmal. Now we go further to Sidon.
Okay, so regarding this, so Sidon nominee, so regarding this plan on the new CP forum, firstly, I will aim to update the CP 101 guide on the IPSF for contact person Google Drive folder to update on the rules and regulations on the CP forum. And secondly, the future coaching of CP session will also be updated to include the contact person. And also I will always be available as much as possible for all the CPs, and also work with everyone to actually provide a guide to guide all the CPs on how to actually make use of this forum and to clarify any doubts if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Sidon. Now we have Joanna.
Joanna candidate, Yasmin, thank you so much for your question. I would say, first of all, we need to have a good internal committee aware and really trained, and have a good capacity building on how the online CP forum will work, because I will be relying on the internal committee, the outgoing one and the incoming one, to be prepared to fulfill and clarify any questions the member organizations might have. And along with my strategy for a good capacity building for CPs, my idea would have to be either a presentation or a recording even done, or a coaching the contact person session meant to act as clarifying the CPs and the member organizations on the working of the online CP forum. Plus, this year, as I said in my application, will work as a pilot year. So we will also be able to evaluate throughout the year how the CPs have been working with the forum, what they feel should need to be clarified still, and which still can be improved. And for this, of course, I will be available and working with the RROs. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Now we have next CAPS Canada.
Sophia Capsi, Canada. So thanks everyone for your applications. You have all stated interest in conducting training sessions for incoming CPs. And we have all been in at least one training session where we felt bored, tired, and unable to stay engaged. So what are some of the strategies that you will utilize to lead training sessions that are relevant, time effective, and engaging? Thank you.
Thank you, Capsi. Now we start with Seaton.
Situn candidate, thank you for your question, Sophia. So regarding on how to actually make the training more fulfilling, I believe one way we could actually do is to actually focus on for the trainings to actually focus more on discussion and interaction rather than just feeding information. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Seaton. Now we go to Joanna.
Joanna candidate, Sophia, thank you so much for your question. I would say my idea would be for firstly to be available, to have been made available presentations and recordings of the sessions that I have ideas for capacity buildings of CPs. So these would be available at any time in a timely manner and at all times. So CPs, even when changing their mandates, would be able to access these presentations. And besides this, I would like to investigate the possibility of having monthly or every 2 months coaching the CP sessions, having several sessions, and for this working, of course, with the internal committee, which I think would make it easier for us to have more sessions. And this will create a more flexible environments for CPs to attend it. I don't want them to be very long and not only informative on internal related matters, but working as well with other portfolios and taking into consideration every topic that might be useful for CPs. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Next is Nirmal.
Nirmal, as a candidate, thank you very much for your question. So basically, training programs classify into two things. One is the capacity building programs, and other is the coaching the CP sessions. So I think, first of all, for coaching the CP session, I plan to involve alumni members. So it will be a little different this year. And for capacity building programs, I plan to bring it down into the MAT project. So we will be having 2 capacity building programs, which will be in certain months. You can see that in the annual plan. And the CPs will actually have an option. Each MAT group will be allowed to choose particular option. For example, what type of capacity building programs they plan to choose. For example, it can be for their confidence building or for time management and email management, etc. So I hope I've answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmal. Next, we have up of Portugal.
Ines Colapa, Portugal. Can I get a confirmation that you can hear me? Okay, amazing. So my question is regarding the alumni. So I wanted to ask you, what are your plans besides the ones that are already being discussed, such as the alumni newsletter and the mentoring project? So besides these things, I would like to ask you if you have any more plans. Thank you.
Thank you, Apef. We start with Joanna.
Thank you, Joanna candidate. Ines, thank you for your question. I would say for alumni, as I mentioned in my application, there are a true source of knowledge and experience. So I would like to work alongside other portfolios to assess the possibility of having alumni being speakers in either webinars or PD projects or any other project that might seem fit for them to be involved. I think that also to make it a bit more interesting and advantageous for them to attend, for example, regional symposiums, so not only World Congress, having assessing or investigating the possibility of them having specific sessions being held by them in these events. I think this could be their interest, and they could help us at the same time promoting the alumni membership. So these would be just some of my ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Now we have Nirmal.
Thank you. Can I have a clarification for the question from Ines? I couldn't hear it properly.
Okay, Apef, please give a confirmation.
Ines Colapa, Portugal. My question is regarding the alumni. So I wanted to ask you if you have any more plans besides the ones that are already being discussed now, such as the alumni newsletter and the mentoring project and career workshop with them. Thank you.
Okay, Nirmal?
Thank you. Thank you very much for your question. So for alumni, the first plan would be that I plan to hold alumnus mapping campaign. So this is a campaign which will be conducted in a sort of survey where the alumni members will themselves be asked how they plan to contribute to IPSF even more, because we probably realize they are one of the richest assets. And apart from that, I have already mentioned that I plan to involve them in the coaching the CPs and coaching the coaches sessions, so that especially those suitable alumni members who already have the experience as best CPs. So yes, and apart from this, we already have a few projects like the biannual newsletter and the mentorship program. So this is my plan for alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmal. Next is Sidel.
Situn candidate. So regarding my plans for alumni as well as HLMs are actually really great source of knowledge and information, and also because they have a lot of experiences based on their past works in IPSF, and therefore I've actually a few suggestions for the upcoming plans for alumni. Firstly, to actually for us, I want to compile all the contact details of the alumni, including details of what position they actually served before, and pass these details to all the respective committees in the IPSF and even the regional team. And so they can actually provide their valuable source of experiences and just pass it to all the current team members who are in IPSF. And secondly, I also wanted to actually conduct those online promotion to actually on alumni to actually bring as much alumni to encourage more past team members to join the alumni as well. And also all the IPSL or the regional symposium. Thanks.
Thank you, Hira, and thank you, Sidon. Next, we have Joanna.
I've already answered.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So we're finished with APEF, and next we have My PSA Malaysia, please.
Okay, thank you, Yelena. Kishan from My PSA Malaysia. Thank you all for your nominations. I would like to ask, in what specific ways can you improve on or assist the work that you would do with the RROs of each region to carry out the respective tasks? Thank you.
Thank you, My PSA. Now we start with Myanmar, if I'm not mistaken.
Nirmal as a candidate, I'm sorry, Kishan, can you repeat your question for me?
Okay, my question is, in what specific ways can you improve on your work to assist the RROs of each region to carry out the respective tasks? Their respective tasks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So regarding assisting the RROs, I believe, first of all, the major thing they contribute to in the internal portfolio is to bring in more membership applications. So I plan to liaise with the organization membership coordinator and the regional relations officers in order to help them bring in more countries to IPSF, as I already mentioned. And secondly, I plan to assist them in order to make sure all the inactive CPs become active and they're provided friendly environment. And if there are any internal problems within a member organization, for example, any financial issues or any other political problem, I will be there to help them. Yes, and if there are any one-on-one CPs meeting in which the contact persons were not available, I will be there myself to hold one, and will invite the regional chairperson and regional relations officer for this purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmal. Next, we have Sidon.
Sidon candidate. So regarding RO's work, one of my suggestions would actually be on MA deal, which is right now, because all of our internal members are actually leaders for all the respective teams inside the MA deal. And my suggestion would be for the RO, instead of being the team leader, actually they can all work together. Firstly, to actually plan projects as well. Secondly, for ROs, I believe that we can still actually provide internal trainings specifically tailored for ROs, and to focus on those regional related matters such as inactive CPs and those member organizations who are actually very lost in those their works related to IPSF, as well as for new, especially for new member organizations, they will be unfamiliar with the culture and IPS in general, and they may, if not being helped properly, they actually could become inactive eventually. And therefore the RO, I believe we will actually provide training as much as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Joanna.
Joanna candidate, Kishan, thank you so much for your question. Having been an RRO myself for the past year and having been responsible for managing 34 contact persons in the Euro region, I would definitely say the RROs are the main allies and the main supporters, definitely for the chairperson of internal relations. It is important for them to have a clear vision of which are the member organizations they are working with, what type of contact persons they are working with, which are those who still need to be a bit more supported, where are those from which you can take a bit more of information and engagement. So you definitely need to assess what type of people you are working with. And even for the work of the chairperson of internal relations to be effective, it's really important to have a good coordination with the RROs. So having that experience, I think I would be able to lead them in a sense of giving them feedback and sharing of good practices, actually what I've been doing for the past year. And I would definitely say that being available for CPs and having an active research for non-member organizations as well would be definitely some of my focus.
Joanna, I need to stop you, please. And I think we have Aya back in the room, so I will pass her the chair. And yeah, Aya, you can continue.
Yeah, thank you. Can you just confirm that you can hear me clearly? My apologies for the technicalities. Is it good? All right. I will first take a procedural motion from PPSA UK. Can you please state your motion, please?
Sebastian, PPSA UK, I propose to close the floor to discussion. Thank you. As I think we've covered everything. Thanks.
All right. Seconded, I think, by NZAPSO New Zealand. We will now have to vote on this, so please do not type anything on the chat box. So all those against closing the floor for discussion and proceeding to secret discussion? I have clarification. FOP Nepal, what's your clarification?
Sobita Ramal from FOP Nepal. I just wanted to know, are the candidates allowed to answer the latest question asked? I think one of the nominee answered and two were left to answer. Thank you. If I'm not wrong, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Yelena, can you confirm? My apologies, I entered in the middle and I thought that we finished with the answers from the candidates. Is this correct or?
From my understanding, we started with Nimal, then Sidon, and then Joanna from the last question, if I'm not mistaken. Other than that, the candidates can confirm if they have not answered.
Okay, thank you, Yelena. I think we have the three candidates answered the last question, so I don't think there is a problem here. I will go again and proceed with the voting. Please do not type anything. One last time, all those against closing the floor for discussion and proceeding to secret discussion. I see none. So we will now close the floor for discussion. Before I ask the candidates to leave, I just want to kindly give the floor to Carlos to address the General Assembly, and then I will ask the rest of the candidates to leave. We have Mr. Carlos from FIP here, and he already texted on the chat box, but unfortunately, because there's a lot of messages, maybe it was missed. But Carlos, we will be happy to hear from you if you still can take the floor and speak. Carlos? All right, so I'm not sure. Yeah. So we cannot hear, but on behalf of
sorry.
yes,
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Can you? Hello. It's a great pleasure to be here and to participate in this great assembly. I don't want to take so much time, only to congratulate you for this great work. Thank you for letting us participate.
Thank you so much, Carlos. We're really happy and honored to have that big number of FIPPRO with us this year. And I hope that you're finding our meeting interesting, and we'll be happy to have you in the next sessions as well. Thank you for taking the floor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now I will ask the candidates to be moved to the waiting room. So João. So who's
Yeah, I've created the room. I just need confirmation on who is going with the candidates.
Okay.
I've created the rooms with the candidates.
Can we try to turn off the live stream, please, meanwhile?